see how this matchup goes. Keith, I'm more familiar with than Laz, but Skiffy, you might have a bit better insight than I do.
So for the longest time, Keith has played on a 60 Hz setup. He swapped to 144 probably around the time I actually don't even know. I actually helped him get his whole like new setup or something. He asked me a bunch of questions. Anyway, he's always been a really aggressive player. He's kind of like do the option first, think about it later. So I'd say he really plays off of his intuition, and he just kind of gets a really good feel for the game. If anyone like knows like how it is to play in flow state where you just feel what your opponent's doing, that's Keith like all the time. And that's where I think he's been able to find like an insane amount of success, because I've seen this guy like grinding the game. Like he tells me like, oh, I gotta study, my mom's gonna take away my computer, but he's still grinding the game. So he obviously has a passion, he obviously cares. And we're gonna see him on the Tezca today, which is in this meta a very good pick. Battle Boots, you know, it's gonna do well for anyone, especially someone who has practiced it a lot. But we do see the levels coming out here, and I see only a level 2, 22 on Tezca and a level 39 on Laz. Laz is typically a Koji player, so I haven't really seen quite much of his Jhala, or rather his Maggie.
Well, I mean, they have the sword, which is, you know, evidently, it aligns up with Koji, but
yeah,
swapping the bow for an axe, it's a little bit interesting. We're going to go to Brawlhaven for game number 1 of not only the set, but the stream in this top 8. Keith on the Tezca, Laz on the Maggie. We're gonna get this one underway, ladies and gentlemen.
3, 2, 1, brawl.
Alright, honestly, picking Brawlhaven, you know, like, against Battle Boots, I really don't like this pick from Laz, especially because, well, one, he dies early. I mean, his SIGs do kill early as well. He has low defense, and I understand the low defense pick into this map. But because basically, like, you're gonna be able to kill, like, regardless of your defense, because the maps are really small. But Battle Boots has like that potential, kind of like Cannon, kind of like Rocket Lance, to just carry you all the way to the blast zone, and it really only takes one setup outside of a dodge in order to confirm that kill. And it's already looking terrible for Laz right here as he finds himself like on 100 damage.
Try to go for maybe that GC down signature was perhaps a misinput there from Laz, which ends up with Keith being the one to get the KO. So it's at the moment the boots are kind of rocking out for Keith. He's managed to get a couple strings. There's a GC side signature there from Laz. Keith trying to go for a GCN signature, but the recovery there from Laz on the axe is going to get the KO. I was questioning the axe, and they seem to be priming it. So maybe Laz knows something that I don't, potentially. That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I know I got Gauntlets has definitely been like touched a bit. Some would say nerfed into the ground, but in this Axe matchup, what do you think? Does Gauntlet still win against Axe, or?
I would say potentially. I would say yeah. Gauntlets probably does win out against Axe nowadays.
And the nSig is gonna KO.
I think it's closer to a 50-50 than what it was previously.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially, you know, with Sidelight being a lot more punishable now than what it was before. But why have Gauntlets when you can have Battle Boots and just tear through your opponent? Not even tearing through them, just kicking through your opponent, just chopping them up left, right, and center. Keith trying to find that side air, but now he's on the receiving end of the edge guard. There's a neutralite from Laz. Try to chase out with a Sair. Recovery isn't going to get the KO either. Try to go for the downlight. Keith picking up the boots again. Dare into the end light. Try to find another down air again. Laz with the weapon throw. Not looking that great. Keith now has the edge guard himself. Gets an end light. Laz trying to get himself back up. Down signature. That's going to get the KO and Keith takes game 1. Holy!
And that's the problem with going small brawl. Like, okay, that SIG is powerful, but when you're going against blast zones that small, where all it takes is one good read on the edge with a weapon that brings you out that far, like, you're playing with Fireman, and it seems like we're going back to Brawlhaven, which I really don't agree with. But, you know, like, Laz really had, like, an opportunity for a couple resets in terms of the damage values, in terms of like getting back into kind of like that poke game where Keith doesn't have an advantage state. But we just saw that Keith is relentless. He doesn't really give up. He just kind of keeps chasing you, and Laz can't find his footing right now. Probably because he's not playing battle boots. You know, I think that's it. Like, Keith has the boots. He's able to find his footing.
Yeah, Keith has the footing. Laz is kind of scramming around everywhere carrying this big ol' axe, which he's finding a couple hits. He does find the sidelight nair after Keith tried to get himself back onto the stage. Another neutralite there from Laz. The down air gets punished by Keith. The boots again, side signature thrown out. Could have been more costly, but Keith decided against it. Try to go for the GC. Laz gets a side air. Keith is looking not the greatest at the moment. He gets it down air to get a touch. Another down air. That's going to kick out Laz instead.
That's a deadly reversal. That's just a deadly reversal for Laz.
Yeah, bit of misfortune for Laz. That was an edge guard that he probably will be kicking himself in the guts for, because Keith is the one doing the kicking to him. But Laz does get a GC downlight into the recovery with a nice KO, just trying to keep Keith aware that, hey, yeah, I do have a sword too. I can cut these battle boots just fine. Oh, nice GC downlight, delaying it to pick up that spot dodge.
Oh!
Laz! Oh my
Keith in the air too long. He didn't have his boots. He couldn't find his footing. And Laz just capitalizing. Good juggles coming out from Laz. But it's not really going to take much here, especially with those boots, to turn this around in Keith's favor. Especially like how quickly you rack up damage with this string weapon. Laz is definitely going to need to like play a little bit on the back foot, or maybe he's going to try and capitalize as much damage as he can on this stock and simply try and kill Keith next stock.
Oh,
there we go. The ground pound's going to
nice
confirm.
Ground pound. Yeah, if there is one thing here that Laz can probably learn from Keith, it is the edge guards. Keith has been on top of these edge guards the entire time, and Laz hasn't been as fortunate. Oh my goodness, Keith tried to set him up, but didn't have another recovery to be able to take him. Now both of them set back into the neutral, and another sidelight down air, another one, and Laz ties it up. We are 1-1. An edge guard performed perfectly there for Laz.
And I felt there, you know, that you know, these stocks definitely went closer than they needed to be. I feel like both players are playing very aggressive, and you know, that might be because this isn't a major tournament, but at the same time, I feel like Laz kind of gave a lot of reversals. He did kind of get his one reversal at the end there, but across both games, I've just seen like Laz getting reversed on the side a lot, and he's gonna need to be wary, especially if he keeps going Brawlhaven. Because it's really not going to take much to kill on this map, especially with like a weapon that just brings you so far out.
Yeah, Laz now is the first one to pick up the weapon. He gets a couple hits, but now it's an edge guard again here. Laz was in the sweat beads already, but nothing came of it. Now Keith picking up the boots, gets an active input side air, reads the dodge, can't get the neutral light out of it instead, but he does have the edge guard. Laz makes his way back with a Sair, but now he's edge guarded again. Try to go for that side signature, huge risk. Not punished though, fortunately for Laz. Now he's picking up the axe, try to go for a side signature when Keith was nowhere to be found. A recovery kicking him up to the sky, try to find the nair. Laz dodged through. Neutral light from Laz, try to find a neutral signature, but nothing comes untoward it. Both players unarmed. Laz throwing away the sword to pick up the axe, and now Keith has the edge guard, try to go for that unarmed Sair. Nothing found of it. Laz keeping the weapons to himself, gets the KO with that downlight recovery, and he has a lead, a very small one considering his KO range, but he does have a lead. A GC downlight.
GC downlight? All the way down there? I mean,
what are you thinking? Hello? Like, I've done that with like maybe a bow end light sometimes, but an axe downlight, you gotta be crazy. Yep, GC neutral signature punished easily by Keith.
I don't know, maybe Laz is just Australian because he's all the way down under, but like,
I don't know. He's cooking. I don't know what he's cooking, but it doesn't taste like lasagna.
Yeah.
It ain't lasagna. Ooh, he does get a side air, try to go for a signature, but didn't pay off. Now Laz with the edge guard himself, trying to whiff out some moves, hoping Keith would walk into either of them, but managed to evade. Both stuck in the neutral now.
Yeah, I mean,
Laz picking up the axe.
Laz's sword game is definitely like, I like that much more against the gauntlets than his axe game. The axe is a killing weapon, so he is going to swap over to that. Keith missing his Sair. That down air is going to kill. Laz is going to find himself at about 80 damage on stock 2. A full stock lead. against Keith, but again, Battle Boots kills early, and Laz is probably gonna have to adopt a more parry playstyle here.
Interesting.
Oh my! Okay, that doesn't kill.
Something else.
That's a grapple move. It sends
Yeah,
down.
dare. Oh, another
this is deadly.
Ground
This
pound.
is deadly.
Weapon throw. Oh
Oh my!
Okay, Laz is 2-1 up against Keith? Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Oh, and we're seeing the swap from Keith. You will never guess what it is. You will never guess. It is a Bodvar. A Bodvar from Keith.
Yep.
He has gone from Tezca to Bodvar.
Well, maybe, I mean, Keith does have a bit more levels on this character. I have seen him play Bodvar before, and again, that Tezca was only level 22, and I think level 23 by the end of this, by the end of like both games. But yeah, he definitely has more experience on the hammer. He definitely like more experience on the sword. He just couldn't really find his footing with the gauntlets there. It did get him a lot of kills with his SIGs, but I think Laz like actually did adapt there. He definitely did. And that definitely like saved him from getting reversed on the edge constantly. Definitely took a lot of risks there.
Whoa.
And here we go. The hammer hits are it's already swinging. It's already coming out, and it's just Laz, you can't be missing footing like that.
Keith's trying to go for a major ground pound, but it's only going to end in his downfall as he gets ground pounded himself. And Laz, he's on fire at the moment. He's got the big swings to back up the torque. There's the downline recovery. Keith's trying to find a second one, and neutral air from all the way up there is going to get the KO for Keith. It's going to even up things a bit. Keith isn't as damaged. He isn't really deficited in the damage at the moment, but it could all well change. He's getting pretty close to the yellow as he dips into it there as he's getting edge guarded. Laz now swapping over to the axe, keeping a weapon away from Keith. There's a neutralite there.
And if you're Laz, you gotta be like, oh man, I really need to win like this game right now because I'm one game away from beating the a champion, a major champion, a spring champion. And he's never done this before. I think the highest he's ever placed is 8th in tournament, and so this is gonna be big for Laz. But as I say that, yeah, the nerves might be setting in for Laz because he's never been in this position before against like a rank 1 player.
Yeah, Keith he is finding a couple hits on this sword now. Laz maybe struggling a little bit to get the KO, trying to be patient about it. He does get a sword there, but it's not going to get close enough to it. Neutralite, maybe trying to get the edge guard, but Keith with a weapon throw, try to find that GC downlight. You're seeing Laz is getting slightly more frustrated with his KO options, and Keith is just easily avoiding him at the moment. He does get hit by that down signature, which this time by Laz was perfectly timed on the come up. But there is a lot of damage brought to Laz's name from his frustration. Try to go for that recovery.
Oh,
whoa,
my God!
What?
What a reversal from Laz! What? Bro, blink and you missed that. Blink and you missed that right there. Oh, that was... You know, I really thought Keith had that once he like brought it back from the second stock. Once he put Laz on like his last stock, I really thought Keith like had basically secured that because he really didn't have to like over engage there, and he went so far down under, which is just the hammer brain on display right there. You see the perfect dodge on that recovery coming out, and then bam, the spin attack ground pound into the confirm, into the reversal, and Keith is just out of there.
Just out. He is gone. Well, I was talking a little bit of smack about Laz's edge guard game.